This conference will now be recorded.
See, you cannot stop your EC2 instances. Even if you stop it also, they will come back.
Yeah.
See, you terminated one I think cops master you stopped it, but start that as well. So as of now, let's go with your screen. So after in ending, I will show you how to stop these servers. So Dharmanshu,
Can
you
I
can
continue or just stop?
just you can power off that. You can terminate that.
Okay, yeah, terminate. Okay,
It's in manage join just now.
okay, yeah.
Just create one more account, Manoj, later.
ఓకే సార్.
Yeah.
యాక్చువల్‌గా ఈ 3, 4 డేస్ నుంచి అది స్టాప్ చేస్తున్నా సార్. కానీ అది ఆటోమేటిక్ మళ్ళీ రన్నింగ్ స్టేజ్‌లోకి వస్తుంది. బిల్లింగ్ ఏమో ఇంత ఇట్లా మొన్నటి వరకే 200 ఉంది సార్.
మరి అడగాలి కదా నన్ను ఎందుకు స్టాప్ అవ్వట్లేదని.
ఓకే సార్.
Okay. Yeah. So log into Cops Master now. Guys, as I told you in earlier, so previous sessions, we have multiple ways to install Kubernetes. Okay, one is manual installation, one more is Cops installation. So what is the difference today? I will show you.
Yes.
As I told you, we do have like a service, right? What is service? So let me share my screen. So initially, so I want to show something. So are you able to see my screen, guys?
Not yet.
Yes.
Yes, now.
Okay. So this is worker node, sorry, master, and this is my worker nodes, and these are my worker nodes. And when I create a deployment in master, so what is deployment, guys? Deployment is nothing but just a configuration. Nothing will be there. So what deployment will do always? It will create a pods. So it will create a pod. So inside pod, a container will be available, right? If only one pod, so while creating the deployment, if you don't specify anything, replicas and all, only one pod will be available. Your container is also only one container will be available here. So this is the connection. So what deployment will do always? When the deployment will always monitor this pod and container. If something problem with pod, immediately this will recreate it. Your deployment will recreate it. And how to access this application? So let's assume that inside this container, my Nginx is available. It can be any application, but example I'm showing Nginx. Okay, so how can I access this application? So Nginx is an application to access from website, from browser. This is, you can maintain a website with the help of Nginx or any web server. So obviously my customer should be able to access this application. But how they can access mean? So actually you have to create a service for that in Kubernetes setup. Again, what is service means? Service is a virtual component, virtual entity. To create a route between this for this communication, so I have to create a service. So in service, I do have multiple types again. So what are the types of services you do have? Mean one is node port. That is one service type. One more is load balancer. What is load balancer? So we'll see that. Node port I already showed. What is node port? If at all you have only one pod running for this deployment, no replicas, only one pod is there. So this is the worker node where my pod is running. So directly I can go with node port. So because there are no multiple pods for the same applications. If you have multiple applications, multiple pods, or multiple containers for the same application, that time I will go with load balancer. I'll show you the difference. So here, so while creating the what is the command to create a service for node port? kubectl
Expose
expose
deployment,
deployment
then name,
deployment name test, then hyphen type
type,
equals to
node port,
node port. And what
port
are the
equal
ports I have to open? Port
port.
equals to any port.
Yeah.
Maybe let's take 80.
Mhm.
Then hyphen
Target.
target hyphen port equals to your
Container.
application port for sure. So node port by default it will take. So actually there would be 3 ports in any service type. So first port is, what is this port guys?
Node
What is
port.
this port is called as? Again, don't be confused guys. Here service type also we do have node port. Again the port name is also called as service port. Sorry, node port. It can
Mhm.
be any service type. You have to open 3 ports. One is node port, one is port, one is target port.
Okay.
Remember this. This is node port. And the port on service. That what is that means? This is called as port. The port on service is called as port. And the port on pod is called as target port. 3 ports totally. You have to open 3 ports guys. Target port. The total 3 ports you have to open. That is what I did here. So the port, the type of my service is node port, because I do have only one part. I don't have multiple parts, right? So directly I can use, I can go with node port. And hyphen port equals to, this is, this hyphen port is for this one, for service. 80 I am using. It can be anything, your wish. So hyphen target means this pod port. So that should be your application port. This node port, whatever the port you are using here, will be auto allocated between 30,000 to 32,000. So now how customer can connect to this application? Your worker node IP colon node port. So when I access from this website from customer laptop, first it will come here, because I'm using worker node IP, right? So it will come here, and through this door it will enter into your server, and directly it cannot communicate with your part. So it will go to service, from service to again pod it will connect, and from pod it will get the information, and this is how the communication will happen. So this is the first type of service, node port. Node port is the service name. So any service it can be, you have to open 3 ports. One is port which is on service. One is port which is on this part. One is on worker node, that is called as node port. So 3 ports I open here. Again node port here by default it will take 30,000 to 32,000. Okay, if you go to your master server, you can see the services by running the kubectl get service. Now one more command. Now I'm showing for load balancer. So what is load balancer means? Let's assume that I don't have one application. I don't have one replica. So I do have 2 replicas for the same application, for the same deployment. So this is one pod, and this is your container, and for the same deployment one more pod is also there. So these are called as replicas. Both has the same application because you created from the same deployment, right? So obviously I'll have same applications running. Now this node port may not work. So you can create it even though like, but here what will happen means the customer will connect customer has to connect your application with individual IPs. To connect to this application, he has to connect this worker node IP colon this node port. And to connect this application, again, the customer should connect to like worker node IP2 colon node port. That's a very difficult. So guys, are we connecting to youtube.com or facebook.com with individual IPs? Means in the back end, even for your youtube.com or facebook.com, you would have thousands of servers running. The same applications will be up and running on all the servers. But are we connecting with YouTube 1, YouTube 2, YouTube 3, something like that? No, right? Why this many servers required means to get a high availability. If you maintain multiple replicas, okay, it can be any other tool, not only Kubernetes. Okay, so you do have the same load balancing concept in any other tools also. In AWS we do have load balancer. In Azure we do have load balancer. In like even third party tools also you will get. Not only in Docker and not only in Kubernetes. In Kubernetes the concept is same. Only the way of creation is different. That's it. Here again, why I need replicas? Because to maintain a high availability, if one worker node, just assume that this worker node is down, still the application is available from this worker node. That is the reason I have to have replicas. I can have multiple replicas, 5, 10, 20, 30, based on your load. Even the customer will face maybe will get more performance also. Will get the pages very fastly because you have number of servers here. Based on your customer count, you will maintain your replicas. If your customer, so WhatsApp is a very big project. YouTube is a very big project. Obviously, I would have thousands of replicas. The same application will be up and running on different servers. That is the reason load balancer is required. That is the reason replicas are required. But here exactly how it works means, again the same concept only, but there is one additional component called load balancer IP will be created. So for these replicas, how many replicas you have, for all of them, they will make a group if you create a service. So what is the command name means? kubectl, same command only. Expose deployment, maybe so how to create one more type of service? kubectl expose deployment name hyphen type equals to now load balancer hyphen port equals to 80 hyphen target. There is no change at all, only the type we are changing. Again the node port it will take by default, but when you create this you will get one external IP, one load balancer IP, this IP. So now onwards customer won't connect with worker node IPs if you create load balance service, because you will get one common IP, one public IP for all of your replicas. With this load balancer only your customer will connect. So your load balancer will take care to which replica I have to send my request. Internally, your load balancer will get the health checks of like health status of all your replicas. Which replica is free now? Which part? So to that part, the load balancer will send the request. Now let's see how to create a load balancer service. Already we seen, let's see the both so you'll get clarity. Okay, so Manoj, please go ahead. So you will get a clarity then. What is the difference between a node port and load balancer? So log into your COPS master quickly. So can you do kubectl get nodes? So it will show you how many worker nodes you have. Guys, until unless you practice, you cannot understand. Just by seeing, you cannot stuff. Definitely. What happened? You're not able to do it? Restart it.
మళ్ళీ రీస్టార్ట్.
Cancel. Just restart it. Press enter. Yeah. Now it's in active state. You can restart your session. Just right click on the white bar. Restart session. So more concentrate on Kubernetes, guys. So this is to Docker and Kubernetes are to create your infrastructure. Can you do kubectl get nodes? Kubectl get space nodes. Yeah. So your master and slaves are ready. Now create. So can you show me your deployments? Kubectl get deployments. Get parts. Ready? Kubectl get deployments. So guys, is there any disturbance or maybe delay in my voice?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. So you have one deployment called test. It seems we created in last class. Pods, not nodes. Nodes means your main EC2 instances. Pods are nothing but inside worker nodes, my pods will be running. Yeah. So one pod is running. Now, so what image you used to create that deployment? So how can I check that mean? Can you use up arrow, get deployments command again? Space -o wide. It will show you it's not yet complete. Space -o wide. -o you missed. So for every kubectl command, -o wide options are there. It will show you clearly what some more extra information. Yeah. So the image name you used for this deployment is Nginx. Right away, how many pods I have? How many replicas I have?
One.
Only one. Right? So
Yeah.
so which method I have to go now? Which service method? Node port or service? Load balancer.
For one, I guess if we go for multiple, then we'll go for load balancer.
Exactly. If you have only one pod for that deployment, you can
Then
go
we'll
with node port.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead. kubectl expose. So why I'm maintaining my application for my customer purpose only, right? My
Yes.
customers are should be able to access my application. For that purpose, I am creating service. If you don't create service, they cannot access. They cannot access your application. So again, like why I need this application without any use, right? That is what I am creating a service. kubectl expose deployment name. Your deployment name is test. Here, based on you have to replace your deployment names based on your usage. Hyphen type equals to node port. Type equals to without space. Node port N and P are caps. So guys, very important Kubernetes and Docker. Without Docker and Kubernetes, there is no DevOps requirement nowadays, because you can reduce your cost like anything, your infrastructure cost. Space. So what ports I have to open? Hyphen port equals
Service.
to any port.
Node
So
port. Yeah.
this port is nothing but service port.
Yes.
Any port number, your wish. It can be anything. Yeah. Space hyphen target -port. This is which port it is? Pod
Container
port.
port.
Yes, pod or container port equals to application port. Which application you are running that port? So obviously my application is Nginx here. So 80. Now enter. So it seems even service also you created. Can you check kubectl get services? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think last class
last
we
time,
created service.
we created services, yeah.
Yes, it's there already. kubectl get service to check the service. kubectl command rank. kubectl get service. So see guys, commands are same, only options are different. So these are called as kinds. This deployment, pod, service. So here what is the node port guys? 31,072. Can you highlight that service? The last one from the above output. Yes. So for your service, 31,072 is the node port. Now this node port you have to open from your browser, from your AWS console. I think already we did it last time.
Yeah, we have done it, yeah.
So now how can I access my application? Get the worker node IP. So how can I know which worker node my container is running, my application is running? kubectl get pods -o wide. It will show you in which worker node your pod is running. Get pods -o wide, not deployments. Yeah.
Okay.
So in which worker node it is running? That 630209. That is the worker node IP. So go
Yes.
back to your AWS console and check it. Is it worker node 1 or worker node 2? $63. Come down.
Yes.
This one, this worker node. So get the public IP address for this worker node. Yeah, go back to browser and open it. Colon, open a new tab. That IP address colon, that worker node port.
31072.
31,072. Enter.
Okay.
That's it. Your application. So what is the way now? First, it will reach out to that worker node. Through this worker node port, it will enter into the server. Then after, it will enter into the service port. So with the help of service port, it will enter into the container port. Then it will get the application, and in the same way, it will come back.
Okay.
So we created node port service. If you have only one replica, right? Now can you go back? Let's create one more replica for the same application, for the same deployment. Go back to your EC2, the master, COPS master. COPS master. No, not here. Putty session. So let's delete the service type. So how to delete? kubectl delete service name. So guys, commands are same. So to delete deployment, kubectl delete deployment name. To delete pod, kubectl delete pod name. To delete service, kubectl delete service name. Yeah, service name is test. Now check the services. kubectl get services. Just for verification purpose, whether that deleted or not. Get services. You can use SVCS also instead of services, your wish. Yeah, enter, no problem. See, so this is the default service. So just ignore this. This is related to your cluster. Okay, now let's create a replicas for my container, for my deployment. So how to create means kubectl scale. So let's assume that in some point of time, okay, now my application has grown, my customers has grown. Now I want to increase my number of servers to get a high availability. Okay, to get high availability of my application. So always, if you have multiple replicas, multiple servers, if one server goes down also, one more server will be there. Your customer will get that application at least. That is why replicas are required. Okay? Yeah.
Amar,
Now Q.
Amar,
Yes, tell me.
yeah. So when you delete the services, the
Hmm.
container or everything will gonna delete, or only the service?
No,
I mean, with the
only service.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you show Manoj get deployments and get pods? Only service is to expose your application. That's it. It won't do anything. It won't impact anything under deployment or pods. Only you are opening the door. That's it. So how we do, like in Docker host, if you have only Docker host, we mapped Docker container port with Docker host, right? Host port. The same way here, service is the way. See, my pod is there, my deployment is there, nothing impacted. Only that service. Now your customer cannot access it. Go back to your browser once, refresh the web page, the same web page as you accessed it, right? Refresh it. See, your customer cannot access now. See, now my application is there, but I'm unable to access because there is no service for you. That's the reason. Now go back to your putty session. Let's create replicas now. kubectl scale deployment. Your deployment name means I'm scaling, I'm increasing. I can decrease and increase. So just assume that some like 1 month back I released my application. I hosted my application and released into the market. Now now my application is running successfully in the market also. So everybody's customers are increased. So obviously the response time will be down, right? Because I have only one pod now. Only one server is one pod, one container is my serving my request to thousands of customers. So your customer response will be very slow. Customer cannot open the web pages fastly. So if you create more replicas, the response time will be more. That's the reason. Have you ever faced your youtube.com or facebook.com are slow? If your internet is good, definitely it will be fast. Have you faced any time your youtube.com is slow? No, right? If it is running, definitely I'll get a pages very fastly. How it is possible? Because they're running multiple servers in the backend, not one server with the same application. So they'll create load balancer. Now everybody customers are connecting to load balancer, not to the direct server, because servers has different IP address. So we're not connecting with different IP address. Only one name we are using, but internally it will redirect the traffic. So the same thing I'm doing it now. I'm creating replicas in Kubernetes. Yeah, test hyphen replicas equals to. So how many replicas you need? It's up to you based on your customer load. Maybe I can make it 3, I can make it 4, I can make it 5. Let's take 3. 3 means already one is there. You'll get 2 more. Make it 3. So enter. Now check your deployments, get deployments. You can see the number now. Only one deployment, 3 pods. See, 3 by 3 now. So 3 pods should be there, 3 are ready. That's what it is showing, the ready state. Now can you check pods also? For the same deployment, you have 3 pods now. So get -o void also. Use -o void. So it will show you which pod it is running on which node. Yeah. -o void will show you little bit extra information. Say 3 pods are there for the same deployment, not for the 2 different deployments. If you have that pod for the same deployment, then that is called as replica. Maybe I can use the same image and create one more deployment. That is not called as like replica, guys. Don't think like that. For the same deployment, if I have number of parts, that is called as replicas. Now see, in two worker nodes, my parts are distributed. In one of the worker node, 51 to 23, I have 2 parts. You can see that. First part is running on 223. Again, the third part is also running on 223. Now, how customer will connect? Now, the first service type won't work out. You have to create load balancer now, because your parts are spreaded into 2 worker nodes. So, are we giving now like a 2 different types to customer? No, right? It won't work out. If you have 5 worker nodes, and if I have 5 replicas, obviously my replicas will spread it into 5 worker nodes. So do we give 5 IP address to customers? No, right? Only one IP address customer need. Customer doesn't need all this information. Are we using load balancer? Are we using Kubernetes? Are we using Docker? Are we using AWS? Why they need it? All they need is only a website address. So again, for internally to get more flexibility, we are using different tools. Now load balancer to get high availability of your application.
Amar, in this -0 wide, I have an IPC. I mean IP starts
Those
with
are pod IP address.
okay, that is part. What
Your
I mean,
pods are
where we can use this when will we use this? Do we need?
internally they will use it.
Okay,
Okay,
but
internal purpose. That is not so we don't use those IP addresses and all anywhere. But if at all, let's assume that. Okay, let me ask you one question here. Leave it about Kubernetes or maybe Docker. Is YouTube.com is an application or database?
it's an application.
Okay, so then videos. So videos are are they available in application or database?
I think depends on the database. I think.
Database only. Then are you accessing database or application then?
Yeah, I'm accessing application, but this application is internally connected with database.
Yes, right? So here also, let me share my screen so that you can understand it clearly. So who is that? Is it Suma?
Yes, Amar.
Yes. So leave it about Kubernetes. Even general also, how exactly it's the structure will be means. So let's assume that. So you have 2 Linux boxes. This is your application and this is your database. And your customer, this is your laptop. You are opening youtube.com here. Okay. When you open youtube.com in your browser, so this is youtube.com web server, the website where the application is running. So it will connect to this application server, right? So internally, when you use those functionalities like searching, maybe searching some videos and all. So internally, this will connect, your application will connect to database. Again, how the connectivity will happen? So this database address, the IP address should be available on top of this applications links. Wherever so the application links will be there, right? Configuration. In that configuration, this database address will be used. Okay. In the same way, if I go with Kubernetes also, what will happen? So this is your master and this is your pod. Sorry. worker nodes, and let's assume that I do have two different deployments. One is for Nginx, Nginx. This is the application deployment, and one more like a database deployment is there. Means I will use database uh, image here. So obviously, what it will do, it will create pod for Nginx deployment. This is application pod. Okay. In the same way, for database also I should have one pod, right? This is your database pod. For each deployment, how many replicas you will maintain, that many pods will be available. So for this deployment, just assume that I don't have replicas, only one pod. Again here one pod. So when customer connected, let's assume that this is my youtube.com server, application server. When customer connects youtube.com, okay, so again once the service everything open, so my connectivity will be happen from the here to here, right? So in the back end, this pod should talk to this pod, right? How they will talk with each other? This pod IP address in the configuration of this application file, I should paste it. I should use this pod address, this DB address inside this pod configuration file, this application configuration file. That is where you will use the pod IP addresses. Now understood?
Yeah, got it.
It's
But
for
our
internal purpose.
yeah,
Yeah.
even for this, do we need to open any ports? So because
Definitely.
okay,
Without ports, definitely even internal, like for internally from one pod to another pod also you have to open ports. Without that you cannot. Okay?
okay, yeah,
Yeah. So okay then. So I hope you are clear now about the why pod IP is required.
yes, Anna, yeah.
Okay, Manoj, please go ahead. I made you as a present. Please go ahead. Yeah. So my pods are running on multiple containers now. So multiple worker nodes. So obviously customer need only one IP, not two IPs, right? So that is where load balancer service is required. Here also I can create a node port, but what will happen? Customer need two worker node IPs then. To connect worker node IP, first part in first worker node, he should connect with first worker node IP. And to access the application in second worker node, he should access again worker node 2 IP, right? But customer don't need this information, so we have to create a common IP. That's what load balancer. Load balancer is helpful when you have replicas, not only in Kubernetes. So let's assume that I do have two servers with the same application. To get a high availability, you will use load balancer. To get faster response, you will get load balancer, replicas. Then now let's see how to create a replicas. Now clear the screen. Now kubectl expose deployment name is test. Here my deployment name is test. It's up to you. You can give whatever the deployment you created, that deployment name. Space hyphen type equals to load balancer. L and B are caps. So without service, there is no accessing. So you cannot access your application from outside. Service is used only to access the application, not to maintain your deployment and pods. Space. And what ports I have to open, guys? Hyphen port. for service. Hyphen port equals to any number, your wish. Give it. Hyphen port equals to any number, your wish. There is no condition. Space hyphen target hyphen port equals to application port. Which application you are running? Space hyphen target hyphen port. It's common. Only the type we am changing. The ports you have to open are common.
Amar,
Node port obviously.
yeah,
Yes.
one more. For this service port 80, we have already used for node port.
We deleted it.
Okay.
Already we deleted it, right? We can
Oh.
use it now. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Enter. Now check your load port. Check your service now. Get services. Yeah. See guys, here now you will get a one load balancer IP, external IP. Pending it is showing, right? So wait for some time. You will get one load balancer IP. Actually, this is the difference between your normal installation and COPS installation. So when you create a load balancer, it needs one public IP. Okay. So if you go with normal installation, the Kubernetes installation, it it doesn't have any source to get the public IP. Public IP means like anybody can access with that IP. But here, in a manual installation, there is no source from where it will get the public IP. But here, if you go with COPS installation, what will happen? It will go to my AWS console, and there, so it will go to my cloud. In cloud, there is a load balancer concept in EC2 dashboard. Okay, it will create one load balancer for your service, and it will provide you one DNS name for you. That is the advantage of COPS. Now wait for some time. It will create a, so just run it one more time. The load balancer IP you will get in some time. Still pending. So by this time, oh, I think some role we have to modify. Yeah. So can you do this command kubectl describe service? So guys, describe command is very useful command for kubectl to describe any kind, like deployment you can describe pod, you can describe service name, deployment name, pod name. That is the syntax. Yeah, enter. So it will describe what exactly happening here. See, something it's saying unauthorized is not authorized to perform. So I got why it's unable to do it. Can you go back to your AWS console? Actually, COPS, what it will do means when it creates worker node and master node, okay, it will also create some roles and assign to our worker nodes. Okay, so our master and worker nodes also should have some roles, but it seems those roles are not updated correctly. So in the backend, that's the reason you're unable to fetch load balancer IP here. Can you check what is the role updated for COPS master, not COPS, to worker nodes? Just click on worker node. Select the worker node IP. One of the worker node. I think both should have the same role. Just come down. Somewhere you can see the role number. Role. What is the role you are using here? IAM role. Yeah, IAM role. Just can you click on that IAM role? So already we discussed what is IAM role, guys. Here, what happened in the backend? What my Corps master will try to do? It will try to connect to my AWS and try to create load balancer service. But somehow this role is not up to date. Let's see what are the policies it has. Just come down. Some inline policy it's created. Means okay. Just can you click on attach policy? Attach policy. Let's attach required policy. EC2 full access. EC2 full access. Yeah, full. Select it. Attach policy. Okay. Okay. Now go back to your putty session and delete that service and recreate it. So kubectl delete service name, because to reflect the changes I have to recreate it. Then only the old one now it won't work. Yeah, enter. Now recreate the same service, same way. Just use up arrow.
Isn't that we have to add the roles for the both node, or just one node is okay?
Both has actually here worker node both both will have the same security group, same IAM role.
Okay.
Okay, so if you do it for one node, again the same role is attached to another node also, right? No need to do it for both.
Okay, got it.
It will be reflected to both the nodes. Yeah, enter. Now just get the services. Describe is not required. Now get services. Describe is to just check what exactly happened. Okay, open it one more time. Describe thing. So still it's showing pending. Actually, by this time it should create. Describe. Describe command. Use describe command. So describe command will completely describe what exactly happening in that service. So still is it showing the same error? Okay. Okay, can you attach IAM full also? Go back to same IAM role and attach IAM role also. IAM policy also. Attach policy. You are here already. Yeah, attach policy. Attach IAM policy also. Attach it. Now recreate your service. Now get the services. Okay, show me one more time. Up arrow. Describe. I think for master also we have to add. Show me the describe command. Still it's showing some access denied. I think master. Okay, so I think it's master role. See, master's developer k item. So we have to add it to master. Go back to master and add the policies roles there also. Go back to master role. No, not here. This is worker node role. So select your master node EC2. Select your master and find out what is the master role. And to that role, attach IAM and EC2 full access. Not COPS master, Kubernetes master I'm talking about. COPS master is different, Kubernetes master is different. So find out the role, which role attached to Kubernetes master. Yeah, this one. Enter. Actually, it should attach that role as well, but somehow while attaching the roles, something happened. I think that's not completed. That's the reason it's saying not authorized. So attach IAM full role, IAM and EC2 full role, full policy. EC2 full access. Actually, EC2 is enough. Not IAM is not required for worker nodes. Attach policy. Because load balancer is internal service of EC2. If you can you go to services once here in your console services? No, not here. In AWS. Go to EC2 dashboard. Services. EC2 dashboard. Come down left hand side. You have one menu, right? Can you come down? Somewhere you can see the load balancer. That is the internal service of EC2. If you have full access to EC2, then only load balancer can be created. That's the reason we are unable to create. So it seems this EC2 full access is not available for that role. So somehow it's failing. Okay, now go back to putty session, recreate your service. Now it should work. Why you are canceling? Let it complete it. Enter, press enter. Yeah. Now recreate it. Yeah. Now check it. Services. Get services. Yeah. See the load balancer IP. I'll get it. Now directly with the help of this load balancer, I can access. Just copy the load balancer IP. No need to open any ports also. It will take care in that load balancer while creating it. Automatically, it will configure everything in the backend. Not that one. That is your cluster IP. Here, external IP. One more DNS name is there, right? That is your load balancer IP. DNS name. After that IP address, one more name is there, right? A102, that big name. Yeah. If at all you want to use your own name, then you have to use Route 53 including. Then you can use your own name instead of this random name. Copy that whole name. Copy that complete external IP. Yes. Up to the .com. Open browser. Now it doesn't matter which container, in which worker node I have an application. So a common IP I got it, right? Yeah, press enter. So maybe it may take some time to reflect the changes. Wait for some time.
Amar,
Even
technically,
last time also I got the same problem. I'm sorry?
so Amar, technically, we don't need to attach policy in worker node, right? Only for master.
Yes, you're right. So
Okay.
yeah, actually I did not see that. Only in master, it was giving error for master.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you go back to AWS console? Let's see the load balancer details. Come down at bottom. bottom you have load balancer. Can you click on that? Yeah, this is your load balancer which is created for your service. Again, yeah, so click on instances. Click on instances. No, not there, in load balancer itself. Now, just I'm checking why it's not showing. Okay, EC2 instance we don't have, right? Click on health checks. Health check. Listeners monitoring. Okay, click on description. Actually, why it is not showing status? Come down. Come down. Something saying some security group problem. Okay, click on edit secure. So it's not yet completed, I think so. So still it's loading. The status should be active. The load balancer status. I think it takes time. Even last time also it for me same issue. So actually all should be like verified. I mean the status should be active. Then only your IP address, whatever the DNS name you are using, right? You can access your application. So still it's loading. See, I think it may take some time. So after that you'll be able to. Now my replicas are available in multiple worker nodes. Right away you do have only two. Even real time you do have 10, 20, 30, and each worker node replicas also I can maintain up a maximum n number of. So let's assume that I do have 100 replicas spread it over 100 worker nodes. Then so your load balancer will take care to which worker node to which container my request should go. From that container I'll get the response. So guys, that is how it works. Now I hope you are clear about the service. What is the difference between node port and service load balancer?
One question,
So
Amar.
are you clear, guys? Yes.
So currently we have only one deployment and let's say n number of worker nodes. Is it possible, like if we have a multiple deployment and same worker node, let's say Nginx is running for the all worker nodes and we have a multiple deployment, is it possible?
Definitely. So we can, as I told you in my screen, we can have Nginx deployment, we can have database deployment, the same cluster.
Okay, and we
So
can
the
use
pods, yes, it is
and for that
possible.
also we can use that load balancer, right?
I'm sorry?
For that also we can use load balancer to connect
Definitely.
that two
One
deployment.
one more again for each deployment it will be separate again. One more service you have to create for that also.
Oh, okay. But is it like it will be the same what you call, let's say if you wanted to use the Facebook, so it will be like two deployment, is it possible?
Again, that's what here for Facebook deployment will be one. In the back end, database is one more deployment. How come both will be same deployments?
Oh, okay.
Right? Both will be separate.
Mm-hmm.
For Facebook.com, like I may have replicas, not
Okay.
deployment. For single deployment, if I have multiple pods, then it is called as replicas. If I
Okay.
have multiple deployment, that is not called as replica.
Okay.
Both are separate,
Both are separate, yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amar, can we have multiple applications in one deployment? I'm just asking the same question. Is it
Definitely, it's possible. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to go with the deployment files. Whatever we did, right? We created deployments in a file. Sorry, by using command line.
Mm.
yes?
So we have to go with the deployment files. If you go with deployment files, in a single deployment, I can have multiple applications, multiple images. So what will happen in that case means each deployment one pod will be created, right? So in that pod, multiple containers will be created then.
Okay.
For each application, for each image, one container. So again, we'll discuss that in tomorrow class. Yes, it is possible. Again, so I hope guys, it's a very difficult to understand this Kubernetes, but there is no other way. You have to practice, then only you can understand. Simply listening won't work out at all. Yeah, see guys, now my
Sorry.
application is working. So
Okay.
now did I use any worker node IP? Worker node 1, worker node 2? No, right? Simply I'm
No.
using my load balancer IP. So it will take care from which container I have to get the response. So this is what again service concept guys. Again in tomorrow class we'll see the deployment files. Over the files how can we do that? So till now we have seen via command line, right? So we'll go with for automation purpose we can go with files also.
Also, Amar, please explain the 2 questions that I message you tomorrow.
Why we can't take CentOS in Kubernetes deployment? Why kops method is preferable compared to other one? Why kops is required mean here if you go with EC2 instances or maybe any other service directly, any other type. So if I create a load balancer service, so how from where it will get the IP address?
Oh, so using
That is my
EC2.
question.
Yeah.
So here, if I go with kops method, already kops has the required roles. There is a mechanism in the backend. It will connect to AWS console and it will create a load balancer. But if you go with the first method,
Mhm.
there is no way to connect to cloud and to get the load balancer created. The mechanism is not there. That's the reason I'm going with kops.
Okay, the cops will take care everything by itself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So did I created load balancer service by logging into AWS console?
No, yeah,
No, right?
usually because I thought
Kops
like we have to
take
create
care.
and everything.
No, cops will take care. That's the reason you are going with cops. Again, you can use CentOS also. So did I told you like we cannot use CentOS with Kubernetes? We can
Yeah,
go with maybe the
you
commands might be different. The
okay,
installation
okay.
steps might be different. That's it.
Okay, because
Apart from that, everything will be same.
yeah,
Once the installation is done,
another day you said that
wait,
we
wait.
can use only. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So it doesn't matter. So OS is independent. You can go with Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat. Firstly, EC2 instance, those are CentOS only, not Ubuntu. Did you remember the first class? We started with CentOS only.
No, no, my question is different. Like, on the other day you said we can use only Nginx here. We cannot use CentOS for that.
Aha, the base image.
Yes,
Maybe
yeah.
I think in Kubernetes configuration somewhere like it's expecting some application ports, application and all. Even I am
Oh,
not sure exact reason. So
mm-hmm.
I'll try for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So one more thing, what is this? What is explaining tomorrow as well?
No, that's that's the 2 questions. That's it. Nothing else.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Or how
Okay,
can I
that's fine.
stop my instances, sir?
Yes. So share your go to your AWS question. Good question. Otherwise, you will be charged more. Here, left hand side, you have auto scaling groups. Go to auto scaling groups. Yeah. Here, click on it. Delete these auto scaling groups. Yeah, one by one. So all your EC2 instances will be deleted automatically. If you don't delete these, and if you directly delete your EC2 instance, they will come back again. Delete one by one, not both at the same time.
How will I start tomorrow, sir? this instance.
Again, once you delete, you cannot. You have to reset up. So guys,
Okay.
be ready. Someone else. I'm expecting at least the single node cluster tomorrow. Okay, no need to have all this setup. Single node cluster is enough. So who will do that? The single node cluster. I given nodes, right? In my Kubernetes nodes, it is there. Guys, who wants to do that? Anybody?
Sir, I will do
Yeah, who is that?
it. Narendra.
Okay, Narendra. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll meet
Thank
again
you.
tomorrow, same time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. Bye.
Bye.